morning, everybody. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. This morning, they say 7:45. We're on time on a Monday morning. Okay? And the temperature this morning is 24. It's not that bad, but it was nice and cool this morning. So, which means we're heading in for a very, very hotish day. So, park is looking very green, looking very beautiful, as you can see. Only thing that like catches the eye is it's two balloons floating in a tree over there. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, as normal, I have to show you my grass. Didn't show it yesterday because it was on the other side of the house. So beautiful grass, luscious green. I love my grass. Anyway, right. So it is the 11th of October, 7:45 in the morning, on a Monday morning. This is my little meerkat that holds it. I lean the phone against when I'm making the video. So yeah, hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Hope you all had a blessed weekend. So yeah, kom ons sit die foontjie hierso vir ons, ja. Right, actually that's a little uncockeye. Blue Monday, gotta get ourselves right, yeah. Yeah, so it was a nice weekend. Had aunt visiting. Aunt can push my button sometimes. But I love her. She did a lot for me and that. So yeah, and I love it to bits. It's like any family. You're always fighting. Family is always fighting about something stupid or whatever. So we have our little and then it's over. I love you, Auntie Kim. So yeah, good cup of coffee. hmm The only way to drink coffee, strong and black. Yes. Okay, shall we get this day started? Shall we get the day started with thought for the day? I've got all these books that I read in the morning. Okay. Right, so thought for the day. It takes 60 seconds to form a crush, 1 hour to like someone, and it takes only a day to fall in love, but it takes a lifetime to forget someone. Make sure people will never forget you. Be the best person you can be. Think about it. Alright, that's a very nice. I like that one. It's very nice. It's very nice. Alright, so please remember this is I do this for me, alright, and for reaching that one person hopefully that may get something from this. Okay. I'm also not affiliated with AA, NA, blah blah blah, yakri shmakri. Okay, I got that. Sounds repetitive, but I have to do it every time because you do get funny people out there that will say, he didn't say it, so that means he's with them because he's reading their literature. Okay, so like I said yesterday, I like the books, some of the books. I like it. I like the Just for Today book. I love reading the Just for Today book. So yeah, please remember, I'm not affiliated with them. Okay, and vice versa. Cool. So today is October 11. Alright, as I've said now, more than once. It's Monday. Okay. Okay. Our best thinking got us into trouble. Recovery is an active change in our ideas and attitudes. Basic text, page 55. It's like I said, like when I came into recovery, you know, what does it say? Our best thinking got us into trouble. I raised my hands, spoke to my father above, and I said, you know what, I'm tired of driving. Meaning, all my ideas, all my decisions kept getting me into trouble. Okay? Recovery is an active change in your ideas and your attitudes. Because when you start getting sober, your mind starts thinking clearer. Alright? You start seeing things with open eyes, not blurred vision. Okay? And your attitude changes because it's no more this attitude of I don't give a shit. Okay? For example, my mom asked me, you know, when I started recovery and that, and we had a good chat and that, and I told her a lot about, things that happen or drugs I've used, but there's also a lot of stuff that moms don't need to know. Okay, um, so like she asked me because I'm a recovering heroin addict was my main happy drug. Okay, but anyway, she asked me, oh, what did that do for me? And I said to him, moment I took that first hit, the world could literally fall apart around me, and I wouldn't give a crap, a shit, nothing. All right, that's what we mean by attitudes. Okay, changing in your ideas and your attitudes, because now you start caring. And it's like shit, you know. So think about it. Okay. All right. So let's read. So that was basic text, page 55. Inactive addiction. The world probably looked like a horrible place. I can contest to that, as I said yesterday. Using helped us to tolerate the world we saw. Absolutely, we couldn't face the world. Yeah, you will agree with me. We couldn't face the world if we hadn't had our first fix, our first drink for the day. Eh? All right, or our first McDonald's meal for the day. Don't laugh. McDonald's meal. I mean, those guys that have, eating problems. Hmm? You get people that sit outside the bottle store waiting for the bottle store to open. Just like that person, you'll find the food addict sitting outside the McDonald's, Nando's, whatever. Okay, waiting for the place to open. Just like the drug addict, pharmaceutical addict. Let's go there, sitting outside the pharmacy waiting for it to open. The drug addict, phoning his dealer awake. All right. So, using helped us tolerate the world we saw. Today, however, we understand that the world's condition wasn't really the problem. It was our ideas and attitudes about the world that made it impossible for us to find a comfortable place in it. I couldn't keep a job for longer than 2, 3 months because all my employees were assholes. In my mind, they were all assholes. Okay, but in the meantime, I was the asshole. Right. Impossible for us to find a comfortable place in it. Our attitudes and our ideas are the eyeglasses through which we see our lives. If our glasses are smudged and dirty, our lives look dim. As I said, looking through blurred vision. Okay, where if our attitudes aren't well focused, the whole world will appears distorted. To see the world clearly, we need to keep our attitudes and ideas clean, free of things like resentment, denial, self pity, and closed mindedness. Now, I love the denial one, okay, because I've, dealt with, I've been doing this for a while, okay, so, I mean, even myself, okay, I can stop tomorrow, you know, but I don't want to. You're in denial because you know what it feels like when you miss a day or two, and you know you're scared of that. So, to ensure our vision of life is in focus, we have to bring our ideas in line with reality. Not that way. Reality is here. We must go in line with it. All right. I'm going to drive a Ferrari. I'm going to make so much money, I'll drive a Ferrari. Be realistic. Okay? I drive a Polo. I'll never be able to drive a Ferrari. Okay? Be in line with reality. Okay? If I win the lotto, yeah, sure. But that's unrealistic. That is wishing and wasting, if you ask me. Right. Anyway, let's carry on. In addiction, our best thinking kept us from clearly seeing either the world in our part and our part in it. Recovery serves to correct the prescriptions in our attitudinal highway. Attitudinal highway. There we go. By stripping away our denial and replacing it with faith, self honesty, self honesty, looking yourself in the mirror and saying, you know, you're a liar, you're a dishonest person. Okay? In other words, be honest with yourself. I'm a drug addict. Okay? I'm an alcoholic. I'm a gambler. I'm a this. Okay? This is my addiction. Be honest with yourself. And you will find that when you stop being honest with yourself, things get easier. I introduce myself to people as I'm a recovering addict. I am not embarrassed that I'm a recovering addict. I wasn't embarrassed when I was using drugs and stealing money from probably you or your people you know. And I wasn't embarrassed when I was doing that. So why must I be embarrassed in recovery? This is my recovery. My name is Desmond Saunders and I am a recovering addict. Take it or leave it. My man. Humility comes with, self-honesty and that. Okay? Where are we? Humility and responsibility. Take responsibility for yourself. I use this a lot as an example. Like, I used to love stealing condensed milk out of my mother's cupboard. Early recovery, I took that condensed milk and I was sitting in my room and I ate that condensed milk. Okay, bro. She's like, Dad, did you eat the condensed milk? And I came in, I'm like, no, Mom. Like I always did. I turned around, took 2 steps, turned around, came back and I said, yes, Mom, I did. Taking responsibility for yourself. Self-honesty. Being humble. Okay. The steps help us see our lives in a whole new way. Then the steps help us keep our spiritual lenses clean, encouraging us to regularly examine our ideas, our attitudes, and our actions. Are your ideas in line with your attitude? And is your attitude in line with your actions? Okay? Today, seen through the clean lenses of faith and recovery, the world looks like a warm, inviting place to live. Coming into recovery, I no longer saw ants on the way to work, slaves to the man. I started seeing people for people, for who they were. Best way I can say it. Just for today, I will view the world and my life through the clean spiritual lenses of my program. Okay, if you're doing CA, okay, AA, NA, you've got the 12 steps to work by. So work by it. Stick by them. Okay? It will help if you work it. Right. Yeah, let's do this one. Right. We can't pull a fast one on God. He sees all and cannot be deceived. He notices our shortcuts and also our efforts when we do well. To ensure that we live by this truth, seek others to hold accountable and act as your alarm bells. Invite others to ask you tough questions such as the following. I'll read the following now. Okay. So I I always mention this when you know people are just new in recovery. Okay. Get an accountability partner. Okay. Due to my circumstances, I could only choose my mom as my accountability partner. Okay. But it's not recommended. So if you're in let's say if you go to these meetings, okay, AA meetings and that, okay, find somebody there that is more than a year sober, please. More than a year sober. Okay, these oaks that have got, you know, sponsees and that, and they're 6 months, 5 months sober. It drives me crazy. I'm sorry. Okay, so don't waste your time with those people. At least a year sober. Okay, I'm not saying they're bad people, but they haven't gone over the first hurdle, which is 1 year. Right. Find them. If you don't want to have a sponsor, get an accountability partner. Right. So an accountability partner is somebody that can hold you accountable for your actions. Mom, I'm going to a meeting interview today. I'll call you when I get there. I'll call you when I leave there. Okay? That's holding yourself accountable for yourself. Right. Small example. Okay, so the first thing, am I keeping my priorities straight? Early days of addiction, your priorities are all over the show. Okay. You need to find something, especially one thing, that needs to be your priority in recovery, in early recovery, the first day or whatever. Okay, you can eventually add on to those priorities. Make amends with those who I've hurt. That's my priority. Or when I leave rehab or whatever, I need to find a job. Okay, remember, your accountability partner can hold you accountable for all of these things. Eh? You say to him, today I'm going through the newspaper, I'm going do 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 do. Okay? When you finished, you say, Jack, I've done this. Cool. Hold yourself accountable. An addict, this thing is your worst enemy. When you are not busy and you sit in silence and by yourself and whatever, this thing turns you into back to where you were, and very quickly. That's why accountability partner. Hey bud, hey chick, whatever. I'm struggling. Help. Okay. Next one. I am accountable to someone in authority, like your mother, like your boss, okay, your pastor. More ideas, okay. I am sensitive to what God is saying to the whole body of Christ. The way I see this one is keep your mind open. Listen to that small, still voice, okay? Be sensitive that you can hear it. Okay. That's how I see it. You may see it as something else. It's fine. That's the whole thing about recovery. What stands out for me may be different for you. Am I over concerned with building my image? Okay. Don't fall in the trap of I need to wear the best clothing, I need to wear name brand clothing, I need to drive the smartest freaking car. No, no. Inside needs the work, not the outside appearance. Alright? It sounds cliche, but when you're beautiful inside, you're beautiful on the outside. Uh, am I aware of and honest about my weakness? Like I said, I introduced myself as an addict, a recovering addict, excuse me. Okay? As an addict in recovery. Right? I am not recovered because the day that I am put into the ground, then I'm recovered. But this thing stays with you because you can be 30. I know people that have been 30 years odd sober, 20 odd years sober, and relapsed. This thing stays with you until the day you're down. Okay? So, are you honest about your weakness? Okay? Be honest. Friends are coming over for a barbecue, whatever you want to call it. Okay? It's my house, guys. Listen, I don't drink. Please don't bring alcohol to my house. Eventually, you'll be strong enough to be able to have them visiting you and not be tempted. Eventually, you will be, but don't push your luck. Is my calling constantly before me? What is your calling? Now that you can think clearly, what is your calling? My calling is addiction counseling. That is my calling. And it's been with me, it's been in the back of my head ever since I came sober in recovery and started my journey. It's been with me. That's why I started this. I've been out of work since the beginning of COVID. Been out for interviews. I've been to so many interviews, but nobody's freaking hiring. I even put up a sign saying that addiction counseling, yeah, please phone. And if you need help, then I decided to do this. I need to try and help. That's my calling, to help others with the problem of addiction. What is your calling? Sit quietly and listen. Anyway, peace be with you all. Have a wonderful day. God bless and adios.